For a while, I joked about Elon Musk shilling XRP like he does Dogecoin, until I crunched the numbers and nearly kind of fell out of my chair, right? If one tweet from Elon can rocket a meme coin, imagine what it could do for a crypto like XRP with real utility, right? So, late one night, I went down this rabbit hole. I had this ridiculous what if scenario stuck in my head. What if Elon Musk, the Doge father himself, started promoting XRP? Now, I knew it sounded crazy, but that's exactly why I had to explore it. In fact, I was so intrigued by it, I even dropped the question in our free educational Discord server just to see everyone's reaction. Spoiler, they thought that I had finally lost it, but their skepticism only made me more curious. Now, you know how Elon's tweets can send a crypto soaring. I've watched it happen in real time, so let me take you on a quick trip down memory lane, back to the wild world of Dogecoin, because that's where all of this started for me. So picture this, it's April 2019. Dogecoin is this tiny little joke of a coin that nobody took seriously. It's worth fractions of a penny. And I was, casually scrolling through Twitter when I see Elon Musk mention Dogecoin for the first time. Literally calls it pretty cool. I chuckled and thought, is he serious? The next thing that I know, Dogecoin had doubled in value in 3 days. And I'm staring at the charts in disbelief. This meme coin, just went boom overnight. All because Elon gave it a bit of a nod. Now that was the first time that I realized, hey, this Elon guy has some power in the crypto land. Now, you can fast forward to December 2020. Dogecoin had been chilling, doing its thing, when Elon tweets one word, Doge. And that was it. Just Doge, with maybe a pic of a Shiba Inu for good measure. My phone starts buzzing, and a buddy of mine texts me, dude, check Doge. I open my exchange app and watch as Dogecoin's price jumps 20% within hours. And I remember laughing out loud. It was so absurd. It was the almost too funny. One little tweet from Elon and people started buying it like it was Black Friday sale. By early 2021, I thought the joke was surely over. Dogecoin had already pumped and dumped a fair few times. But then February comes around and Elon calls Dogecoin the people's crypto. I still hear that phrase in my head because it was everywhere. Headlines, memes, you name it. Overnight, Dogecoin shot up 40%. I had friends who never really touched crypto asking, me how to even buy Dogecoin. It was like a pop culture moment and financial mania all in one. And then April 2021, and oh man, Elon goes on Twitter and says Dogecoin is barking at the moon. Now, up to that point, I'd seen some pretty wild stuff, but nothing like what happened next. Dogecoin went absolutely nuclear at that point. Part of it was perfect timing. The whole crypto market was in a bull run and everything was going up, but Doge outpaced them all. It was as if Elon lit the fuse and the raging bull market did the rest. And by May of 2021, Dogecoin hit around 73 cents. Mind you, in January it was around half a penny. Half a penny to 73 cents. That's like something like more than 120x increase in just 4 months. And I remember sitting there, staring at the screen, mouth open, a meme coin that started as a joke was suddenly making new millionaires. And I'm thinking, is this real life? Did Elon just meme a coin to earn nearly $1? Now, I didn't get rich off of Dogecoin or anything. In fact, I had a little, sold a little too early. Who could have blamed me? I never thought it would go anywhere near that high. After all, it's a proper shitcoin that's the first thing you want to get out of your portfolio. But the roller coaster was insane. And even Elon jokingly, I guess, lamented that he forgot to drop the toast or something silly after Doge's big run. It kind of felt like we were all characters in some kind of crypto comedy that Elon was directing. Anyway, the fun didn't stop there, did it? January 2022 rolls in and Elon announces Tesla will accept Dogecoin for some merchandise. And I remember this clearly because I immediately went to see if I could buy a Tesla belt or buckle, you know, or something, 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰cie with a Dogecoin bag that I maybe have had, right? At least what I had left. And yeah, Doge jumped up 15% on that day. Elon basically turned Doge from an internet joke into a proper currency, at least for buying Tesla swag. It's crazy, right? Now, you jump to March of 2023. I wake up, I rub my eyes and log into Twitter. Instead of little blue bird icons, I see Dogecoin's Shiba Inu as the logo. I legitimately kind of thought either I got hacked or I was still dreaming. But no, Elon actually just changed Twitter's logo to Doge's logo, the Doge dog, for a laugh. Dogecoin's price shot up 30% in a flash. I mean, of course it did. That day proved two things. Elon's sense of humor is off the charts and his influence on Doge is alive and well. Even as recently as late 2024, Elon found a new way to sneak Doge into the conversation. He got involved with something called the Department of Government Efficiency. Cheekily, the acronym spelled out Doge. It was a playful reference that kind of got the community excited, thinking, oh man, he's integrating Doge into serious stuff now. Dogecoin's price had a little bump again. It wasn't huge like the earlier ones, and the excitement faded soon after, but still, the fact that even had an acronym caused a stir, let's say, a lot about the power of that four-letter word, Doge. So yeah, Musk has essentially been the hype man for Dogecoin for years, from April 2019 to now. And Dogecoin's price went from around 0.004 to roughly 24 cents. That's about 5,700% increase. Mind-blowing, right? I know. Meanwhile, let's talk about XRP, the reason that you clicked on this video. Because back in April of 2019, XRP was around 30 cents. Today it's hovering around $3. That's a respectable gain of about 920%, nothing to sneeze at. Most stocks could only ever dream of such a kind of return in 6 years, but compared to Doge's rocket ride, XRP's climb looks like a steady kind of uphill hike versus Doge's Mount Everest ascent. And here's the kicker then. Elon Musk has never, at least publicly, mentioned XRP. Not once, right? It's been so slow or so kind of low-key that even my crypto-obsessed brain didn't catch it. It's kind of like XRP was Voldemort and Elon was afraid to speak its name. It's always wondered, you know, at least I've always wondered why. Maybe because XRP was embroiled in that long SEC lawsuit and Elon didn't want any part of that drama? Or maybe XRP, being more of a serious payments crypto, just isn't fun for him as much as a memeable kind of Dogecoin is. Or who knows, maybe he secretly holds some XRP and is staying hush-hush for now. Okay, that one's a bit of a stretch, but hey, never say never in crypto. But all of this just made me, at least kind of my what-if scenario, even juicier then, right? I kept thinking, Dogecoin blew up largely thanks to Elon's cheeky tweets. XRP has real tech and real adoption potential. Banks use it, right? It's built for cross-border payments. It's not just a meme. So what would happen if Elon put even a fraction of his spotlight on XRP? Would we see XRP double overnight, 10x, 50x? Could it go to the moon like Doge did? Right? I couldn't get this out of my head. So, you know what I did? I decided to run a little experiment of my own. It's 2025. We have AI at our fingertips these days. So why not ask an AI outright? Google has this new AI chatbot called Gemini, and I fire it up and I ask, hey, if Elon Musk started promoting XRP today, like he did with Dogecoin, how high could XRP really go? Now, half expected it to kind of scold me for being silly and asking this kind of question. Instead, though, it actually gave me a number. And get this, Google's Gemini AI calmly tells me that, hypothetically, if Elon Musk's magic worked on XRP the way that it did on Doge, then XRP could reach about $175.92. I'll let that sink in for just a second. 175 bucks per XRP from $3. Now I nearly spit out my coffee when I read that and I saw that. I had to double check that I didn't accidentally ask it about Bitcoin or something else. But no, it said XRP, $175.92 based on Dogecoin's percentage gains. Now, at this point, I needed to kind of hit pause and drop a reality check right here because this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile and you could lose all of the money that you invest. It's important that you always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. After all, your investments are entirely your responsibility and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Now, neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses, and this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Alright, so we had to get that out there. Feel better now? Because I sure do. Because, wow, right, $175 XRP is the stuff of daydreams. So let's be real. As of today, XRP is around $3, maybe a little bit less with the recent pullback. $175 would be an astronomical leap. Right, we're talking nearly 60x increase. That's the kind of scenario that makes you wonder if the AI had one too many virtual beers. Even Gemini itself basically said, hold this is purely, speculative, buddy. It was like the AI was trying to cover its own butt. Smart AI. Now, this crypto market isn't exactly a simple math equation though, is it? Right, we can't just copy paste Dogecoin's 5,700% gains onto XRP and call it a day. There are so many other factors at play here, and Gemini, to its credit, pointed out a fair few of them. First off, XRP's got something going for it that Dogecoin never had during its big pump. Regulatory clarity, or at least more clarity than before. And if you remember, Ripple was tangled up in a lawsuit with the US SEC for what felt like ages. Everyone in the XRP community was on edge because if XRP got officially labeled a security by the SEC, a lot of exchanges would drop it and big players would stay clear. But now that that battle has largely kind of wrapped up in a Ripple's favor, or at least moved towards resolution, XRP isn't actually being held back by that legal question mark like it was. Now that is huge. It's kind of like a black cloud that's been hanging over XRP finally kind of started to drift away. Now with that legal drama clearing up, suddenly a lot of institutions, banks, payment companies who were hesitant might actually feel more comfortable using XRP in their systems. Some are already kind of dipping their toes in the water. Now, imagine throwing Elon into that mix. If he started hyping XRP, you would not only get the regular crypto traders foaming at the mouth, but you might also entice those institutions who got the green light from the SEC situation. They might think, well, XRP is legally safer now and Elon's talking about it. Maybe this is our moment to integrate it. It could be like a 1-2 kind of punch, hype from the masses and validation from the big players all at once. That kind of combo can, of course, send a price into the stratosphere, at least temporarily. And then there's the overall crypto market cycle. Gemini's AI mentioned that the next bullish market as a factor. Historically, when Bitcoin and Ether go on a tear, the rest of the altcoins tend to ride the wave. Now, if Elon chooses to spotlight XRP during a roaring bull market, well, it'd be like pouring gasoline on a bonfire. In a bull run, even minor news can send prices up 2x, 5x, 10x. So a Musk tweet in that environment, well, that could be explosive. Now, conversely, of course, if we were in a brutal bear market and Elon tweeted about XRP, it might still pump, but the impact could be more muted because people are genuinely more cautious when everything is red. Timing is everything. Now, another big difference is Dogecoin versus XRP in nature, right? Because Dogecoin, for all of its charm, started as a joke. There's effectively an inflation supply, no active development to speak of, at least for long stretches, and no clear mainstream adoption plan. It's kind of like a class clown of crypto. XRP is more like the straight A student who is also class president. It was built with a purpose to enable fast, cheap cross-border transfers for the banks and institutions. There's a whole company and community working to get XRP used in real-world banking and remittances. So yeah, if Elon suddenly said, I like XRP, it's not just another meme. Some people would actually go, wait, why does Elon like XRP? Did a SpaceX or Tesla find a use for it? It's kind of like being integrated into some platform. The conversation might shift from pure hype to also discussing XRP's actual utility, and increased attention could bring more developers, more companies into XRP's ecosystem, which could have a longer-term positive effect beyond the initial price jolt. However, as this is rather important, all of that is speculation on top of speculation. The reality check time again. Is Elon actually likely to promote XRP? I would say this is a rather long shot. The guy is nothing if not unpredictable. But come on, he's had plenty of chances to mention XRP and, well, hasn't. It seems like he genuinely has a soft spot for Dogecoin, maybe because it's funny and he loves the meme culture around it. XRP doesn't quite fit that meme bill. It's more serious, it's business, right? Now, I suspect Elon enjoys being seen as a bit of a kind of rebel or clowning the kind of establishment, and Doge is perfect for that. XRP is kind of tied to fintech companies and banks, not exactly the rebel territory. Plus, remember, right, Elon has to be somewhat careful. He's gotten in kind of mild trouble with regulators for some of his tweets about Tesla stock, and crypto is definitely on regulators' radars. So if he suddenly started actively promoting XRP, which, you know, he had that kind of big lawsuit history, people would actually wonder if he's up to something. Or if there's actually an angle being played. It could invite scrutiny. He might prefer to avoid it altogether. So yeah, right, I'm not betting my life savings on an XRP Elon love affair, right, happening anytime soon. But hey, thinking about it was a bit of a blast, right? And if by some twist of fate Elon did give XRP a shout out, then I'd both be thrilled and on high alert. Thrilled because, well, I had some XRP in the game and I'd love to see it moon. And on high alert because I know those kind of pumps can be super volatile. I half-jokingly told my buddy that if Elon ever utters XRP on social media, I'll be on kind of the blowfin exchange within a heartbeat. Not necessarily to kind of buy more, maybe a little if I'm feeling adventurous, but mainly to watch the madness in real time and possibly to secure some profits if everything goes nuts. And you best believe that I have my fingers hovering over that sell button, because if we learned anything from Dogecoin's saga, it's that what rockets up can come crashing back down once the hype train passes. And that's really my kind of big takeaway from this whole thought experiment. It's ridiculously fun to imagine what if scenarios. It's kind of like crypto daydreaming, right? But you can't base your entire financial decisions on a daydream. Hype is a heck of a ride, but it's the fundamentals that give a project lasting value. Dogecoin's hype was out of this world, but when the dust settled, what did it have? A cool community and a fun reputation? Sure, but not much in the way of actual tech advancements or adoption. XRP, on the flip side, is steadily building partnerships, the tech, even without the hype. So, if XRP is going to really succeed, it might do it with or without Elon. Now, this little mental adventure also reminded me of why I like being in the crypto space. Truth is, often kind of stranger than fiction, right? And at least here, who could have kind of guessed that a few years ago that a meme coin would be in the top 10 cryptos, or a billionaire would be jokingly calling the CEO of Dogecoin, or be called the CEO of Dogecoin, right? Anything can happen here. So I don't blame anyone for fantasizing about the crazy scenarios. Heck, I just did a whole video about one. But ultimately, you've got to keep a level head. Now, I'm actually glad that I shared this crazy idea on Discord and now with you guys on here, because thinking through the extreme scenarios can highlight what actually matters. It made me appreciate that while crashing out or chasing all the hype, it can be profitable if you time it right. And it's super risky if there's no substance underneath it all. Conversely, a project with real utility like XRP can chug along, gaining value the slow and steady way. And that's sometimes the best thing to do. Just be patient and wait for it. To all the XRP holders that are out there then, I see you guys, right? It's been a wild ride so far with these past few years, and you didn't need Elon Musk to get you there, right? Would it be cool if he suddenly joined the party? Sure, but if a bit of excitement, at least for a little bit of excitement, but XRP's story isn't dependent on any one celebrity or billionaire. It's actually bigger than that, and who knows, maybe the next catalyst will be things like major banks announcing that they're using XRP or new features being added to the XRP ledger. Those might not grab headlines like Elon's tweets, but they could be just as important for the long-term trajectory. Now, if you stuck around with me this far, I genuinely appreciate you all. I hope this little speculative journey was entertaining for you guys, as it was for me. Now, if you nothing else, it got you this fun story and a reminder to stay grounded when crypto starts making big daydreamings, right? And if you're looking for a community to kind of toss around some crazy ideas, just like this one, then you're going to want to check out the link that's in the description to our completely free educational Discord server. And we're always welcome to new people, whether you're a seasoned trader or just crypto curious. All right, I think that's enough daydreaming for one video. Time to land the rocket ship back to Earth then. Remember, the crypto world moves fast and anything can happen. So stay safe out there, stay curious, and keep on learning. Hit that subscribe for more crazy crypto adventures, and I'll catch you all in the next one.